I'm Christina Giordano, the founder of Sold, your go-to resource for soulful entrepreneurship. And my philosophy is this: people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to. That is SOUL apostrophe D. But in order to sell with soul, you have to be sold on yourself first. This is marketing and manifesting with nothing but the essence that is you. This is business that begins within. This episode is called The Sensation of Your Signal Lives in Your Body. Now, as a reminder, this is just a preview of the full episode that you can find on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Again, it's Sold by Christina Giordano. You can find those links in the description here. Now, as many of you know, and all of you who tune in to this journey every week, you know that I give an in-depth report of what I'm moving through in real time with honesty and with integrity, so that those who do take the sold approach have something to come back to, a pathway that they can relate to, so that this journey doesn't feel so isolating, because it is. When you are moving in a world where most, if not all, of the people around you are condition responsive rather than signal responsive, it can feel incredibly lonely. Not only are you having to hold your own signal through everyday challenges, but you have to interact with others who simply do not, for lack of a better word, have the capacity to understand what signal responsive means. This isn't a judgment about them. It's not even wrong. It's just a different journey that is the path less chosen. Not everyone can walk it. So going back to the episode itself, what if your signal isn't something you create, but something you learn to perceive? In this episode, I explore one of the biggest realizations I've had since developing the sold approach. Your signal is structural, but the sensation of it lives in your body. Now, through my own experience of navigating the final stages of what I've called the holding pattern, including an approaching move, a very real deadline, and searching for a new home, I share what it actually feels like when your body begins recognizing truth before your mind can fully explain it. We'll explore the difference between structural signal, nervous system feedback, and emotional weather. Why follow your feelings is incomplete advice, and how the body becomes the instrument through which coherence is perceived. The signal being structural and the signal being felt in the body are not contradictions. They're describing two different aspects of the same thing at two different levels of resolution. The structure is what makes that feeling reliable. A feeling on its own, without structure underneath it, is just a sensation. It could be truth. It could be fear dressed as excitement. It could be pattern recognition from the past. It could be desire. Feelings without structure are ambiguous because they have no stable reference point. They shift with mood, with context, with who's in the room, with how much sleep you got. That's why the notion of follow your feelings as advice is incomplete at best and dangerous at worst. Feelings are real, but they're not automatically signal. What the sold approach builds is the structure that makes a particular class of feeling consistently trustworthy. Through essence identification, containment, energy leaks, self-trust rebuilding, you're not just learning to feel more, you're building a stable internal architecture that a specific quality of feeling can now reliably correspond to. The structure is what separates sensation from ordinary excitement or wishful thinking. Without the structure, you couldn't trust that feeling. With it, you can. Because if we take this one step further, the body is where the structure becomes legible. Because convergence isn't something you're waiting for. It's actually the moment your signal becomes clear enough to trust and you begin building your life from what you know is true. If you've ever wondered how to distinguish fear from truth, intuition from wishful thinking, or why some decisions simply feel unmistakably right, this episode is for you. I hope you enjoy this episode. Again, you can find it in the links below. Until next time, be well and take care.